It's not easy to keep track of all of Samsung's tablets, but this one stands out for a very important reason. We're taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab 3 10.1, and this is the first Android tablet on the market with an Intel Atom processor inside. This is a 1.6 gigahertz Clover Trail CPU, and we're going to get into that in a moment, but let's take a look at everything else that we like and what we don't about the design. What we like about the Tab 3 10.1 is that it's very thin and light. Just a little over a pound, it's about 1.1 pounds, very thin design. We also like that you have the dual stereo speakers, one on the left and one on the right. And when you're holding it playing games, we find that the placement is actually pretty good. You're not going to muffle the sound. In terms of the design language, Samsung tried to mirror some of the goodness that comes from its Galaxy phone line, and that includes a home button beneath the display that's flanked by two capacitive buttons in menu and back. And the software should be a little bit familiar too for Samsung phone owners. So if you swipe down from the top of the screen, you'll see that this Jelly Bean device has all of these quick setting options from Wi-Fi and GPS to driving mode and smart stay. You're not going to get certain features that the Galaxy S4 has, like the multi-view multitasking, which we definitely missed, as well as some of the cooler gestures because you don't have the sensor built in, but for $399 we're willing to live with some of those omissions. What we do like about the home screen is that you get a couple of really cool widgets here in the weather, as well as this dashboard that gives you access to not only what's coming up on your calendar, but news headlines. And if you swipe up again, you're going to see things like social networking updates. The other big thing with this $399 tablet is that if you turn it around, you'll see not only micro SD expansion, but also an IR blaster, and this works in tandem with the Peel Smart Remote software. So you can use this device as a remote for your TV, and it'll tell you, it'll customize it based on what you want to watch, and it's easy to just select a program and then change the channel on your TV once you set it up with your cable or satellite provider. So that's definitely a nice perk to have. Up front you have a 1.3 megapixel camera, and on the back a 3 megapixel shooter that takes just decent images. The color is good, but the fuzziness is definitely there. All right, so now we come to our major complaints with the Galaxy Tab 3 10.1, and let's start with the display, because when you compare this with other tablets on the market, we're looking at 1280 by 800 pixels, and that's the same that you get from the 8-inch version of the Galaxy Tab 3, and this goes for $399 and this is $299. You can get a much sharper screen in the Nexus 10 with a Retina display for the same price. And you can also find 1080p Android tablets for $399 as well. So that's one major point of contention. But the deal breaker for us, at least for now, we really hope that Intel and Samsung work to improve this, is lag. So let's just try a couple of different things. This is just going to the gallery. So this opens right away. And if you see on the left-hand side, it's just an amazing amount of lag there. Granted, we don't have the same pictures or the same amount of pictures loaded on both, but this happens all the time. If we back out of this menu, you can see that it was a little bit slower there going into something like settings. So this started out slightly faster, but it took longer for the information to fill in, and this happens all the time in all sorts of applications. I'm going to show you one more example of the lag in this Intel-powered tablet. So let's say we want to fire up a game like Minion Rush. You can see that there was enough lag there that you might even have to press twice because you don't know if it's working or not. So this is well ahead. And let's see how long it takes to actually get to the screen where you can start playing the game. So this is done. Get rid of that annoying ad. This one's still going, still going, still going. And these are the types of things that are really going to annoy people when they come to playing with this device. And you can actually see that the display on the right-hand side is a little bit better too when it comes to colors. So when you add it all up, I mean, this Intel-powered tablet actually got good battery life in our testing. Like you see how long it took just to fill in there, everything going back to the home screen. With 7.5 hours of battery life, that's not our complaint with the Galaxy Tab 3 10.1. It really comes down to the lag and the fact that you're getting a somewhat of a low resolution display for your $399 price. And for those reasons, we're giving this tablet 2.5 out of 5 stars. We definitely hope that Samsung and Intel are able to work out some of the kinks. Maybe there'll be a software update that better optimizes the software and hardware for Intel's chip. But for now, we're saying, take a look at this device, but there are better options on the market, including Samsung's own with its Exynos processor.